Okay, I can see you guys found me again, huh? Hey, Bill, how you doing, man? And Cindy? John, glad you could make it, man. And Pete. Let's see how many people. I was a little bit late. Um, I hooked up my laser to my machine and can't get it to work. Robert, nice you can make it, and Steve, and John, and Wayne, and Anna. Very cool. There's so many. Let's give them a few minutes. I was late. I was messing around with the phone, and had to put my laser on my machine, and the damn thing don't work. So I got to troubleshoot that. Faithful followers, yes sir. Yes sir, that's how you learn. You stick with me on these live sessions, I'll make a pro out of you. Glad to see you, Colin. Oh, much better. Thank you, Robert. Yeah. About 95%. 95%. Thank you. Tonight I was thinking about talking about LaserGrbl. Yeah, Steve, that's the way it is, man. But it's always available to you. So, you can just watch it at your leisure, Okay, are you out driving, Pete? How you doing, John? Glad you can make it, man. All right, let's get the show on the road. First of all, LaserGrbl is what I teach when it comes to laser units. And 3018. There are several other laser programs out there, but Lightburn is one. I don't know if it's free. I think it's free, but yeah, some people have to work, Pete. But as I was saying, the I have found that LaserGrbl is totally fine. It does everything I need it to do. And I'm going to turn you around here in a second, and I am going to start going in through all the different aspects of LaserGrbl. And at the same time, we're going to look at why my laser isn't working. Okay? I think I have an idea. Okay? So, let me turn you around here, and I will start talking about LaserGrbl. LaserGrbl. Like I said, I have found it to do everything I need it to do. Okay? Alright. Let's see what we can find out here. Okay, first things first. Let's just start. Now this LaserGrbl here, this is the version I have. Version 3.5.3. That's the one I have. I mean, this is really very, very simple. It's a very simple program. Okay? I'm going to just start out with here where it says GRBL. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you people, and if you really, really want to tick me off, you go in the group and you call LaserGrbl GRBL. I won't even answer your question. First of all, look at the first one here. Disconnect. Look at that icon there. Okay? Guess what? It's same icon right here. Exactly the same. So you got double up. So I can disconnect it. I am connected now. If I click on this one here, I will disconnect it. I am disconnected. Whenever your jog arrows are gray, you are not connected. Okay? Now, if I go to I can click here to connect it, or I can go here and I can connect it. Same thing. That's all it is. Exactly the same thing. There, I'm connected. Okay. Below that, reset. I can reset. That's just a. That's all that is a GRBL reset. Okay. Unlock. Sometimes it locks, and sometimes you have to unlock it. This here, GRBL configurations. Remember how I've told you people about the software that is written to the motherboard? Okay. These here are all your GRBL settings. Okay? And I did find my papers. Here are the papers I was telling you about. About GRBL settings. This is how thick it is. Okay? There are quite a few pages there. But I just want to talk a little bit about GRBL settings. Remember, I told you last night, night before last, whatever, that these are the settings that are burned into the EEPROM on your board. These are your hardware settings. For example, here, $2 equals 0 right now. Just don't worry about what it's equal to. Step port invert mask. Direction port invert mask. In other words, if I have an axis that is going the wrong way, there's two ways I can fix it. One way, I can turn the connector around on the stepper motor, or I can go right into here, and I'm just going to show you here kind of what it talks about here. Okay, now this is $2. So $2 is the address of that particular, the step port invert mask binary. I mean, you can read all this, and this is really good information. That's how I learned all this. I just read everything. But right here, very, very simple. Let's say that my Y, when I put my machine together, my Y-axis and my Z-axis are inverted. They're going the wrong way. And I need to turn both of them around. Okay? So I just go along here. Invert X, no. Invert Y, no. Invert Z, no. Invert X, nope. That's not the one I want to invert. I want to invert Y. Invert Y, yes. Invert Z, no. Nope. I keep going down till I find Y and Z, yes. And there it is. No, yes, yes. In binary, this number right here equals 6. And I can teach you a little bit of binary really quick, really quick. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 is equal 0. This is equal 1. Okay? The next one is equal 2. And then the next, for every one of these, it goes up by 2. Okay, now watch. Forget 3 right now. I'm just going to show you these numbers. 1, 2, 4. And then 8 would be the next one. Now watch this. This is how binary works. You have 1. If you want 2, then you have 1, and then here you have 2. Now if you want 3, then you add a 1 to your 2. So there's 3. 4 is right there. 5 is 4 and 1. 6 is 4 and 2. 7, 4 and 2 and 1. See? Simple, simple, simple. But these are just giving you the number that you need to put in. So when I'm going to change this right here, I'm going to change this. My magic number is 6. So guess what I do? That will be $2 equals 6. And then I do the same thing with 3. And 3 uses exactly the same method. Okay? So, if I was to change, wanted to change that, right here, I can see right here, $2 on my machine, it is equal to 4. That's because when I put my machine together, the x-axis was going the wrong way. And so I had to change it, and that's what I had to change it to, 4. All right. One thing with people, you're gonna see people. You are going to see posts of people that have that Auteur machine, okay? And you are going to see posts that say, I don't know what is happening, but my carving, it goes halfway, and then the carving, the engraving, the laser engraving will go it'll only do about half of my project, and it stops. There isn't many people that know this. So if you want to impress people, then this is right here, one right here. Soft limits enable. On people that have a Auteur machine, if you see that they are saying in a post that their machine is stopping halfway during a laser burn, then you can really impress them and go in and say, well, that's because $20 needs to be equal 0. That, in other words, you want to disable your soft limits. And guess what? And as soon as you disable those soft limits, it works completely perfect. Hard limits. Hard limits. I really need to disable mine because I do not have any hard limits. Homing cycle, enable, mine is off. 0 is off. Homing direction. Now this is if you put limit switches or homing switches on your machine. These are all the ones you have to set up. And if you're going to do that, just get a hold of me. I can tell you exactly what each one of these does. Homing cycle, enable, homing direction, invert, homing locate feed rate, homing search seek rate. There's a difference between feed rate and seek rate. Homing switch debounce relay. I mean, this stuff sounds really Greek. I know it does. But it all has purposes. Homing switch pull-off distance. Maximum spindle speed. That right there is mine. It's 12,000 RPM. Minimum spindle speed, 0. Laser mode enabled. Okay, that's what I was thinking mine was wrong. And it is enabled. So I do not understand why it is not turning on. But I'll get to that. This is my travel resolution, okay? This is how many steps my stepper motors need to travel 1 millimeter, okay? 1,600 steps, pulses. And it says right here, X travel resolution in steps per millimeter. Okay? And then here, Z-axis, maximum feed rate, 1,000, or X, 1,000, Y, 1,000, Z, 1,000. Z-axis, acceleration. Let me see, X-axis, acceleration, 30, 30. Z is 30. Z-axis maximum travel, 250 millimeters. Now, see, I could actually change this, but to 3018, but I'm not always going to be working from the front left corner, so I just leave these alone. Okay, so that's all. That is all of your GRBL settings. And then the cool part, let me show you. And to be honest with you, I use LaserGrbl whenever I... Oh, my mouse is... I think I need to change the... Oh, wait a minute. I thought I got rid of that. There. I use LaserGrbl when I am setting up another machine. An example of that is just a second, I'm trying to get it here. Here you go. This is I need some light here. There you go. This is a Arduino. Here's an Arduino 4-axis controller. You have X, Y, Z, and A. Okay? Whenever I build one of these and I put it all together, guess what? I have to download the GRBL settings to it. So I find that using LaserGrbl to do this is wonderful, because right here, look at this. Here I can refresh, okay? I can refresh reading right from the EEPROM. I can write to the EEPROM. Now see, let me see if I can change, yeah, I think I can change this. Okay, let me see. I don't know if that's just a marker or I really don't know. It's no problem because I just do this again. I just open it up again. Okay. All right. So what I can do is I can export my GRBL settings if I want, or I can import. And then up here, I'm going to show you, up here in Tools, right there, Install CH340 Driver. I can click that, boom. And there it is, extracting. Over there, load yes. Install. Driver installed success. Okay? So now I have just installed my driver. And right now, this Flash GRBL firmware is not lit up because it knows that I have GRBL settings on my machine already. But when I hook up a new board to this, this will light up, and I can flash. I can download the GRBL firmware right from here, right onto any board I want. I just use my USB cable. Simple as that. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. Back to the GRBL here. Settings. Now this is some pretty interesting stuff. Firmware type. Okay. Well, what kind of firmware is your board using? Well, guess what? We are using GRBL settings, GRBL firmware. Okay? There are different ones you can use. Smoothie or Marlin. They are different ones, but your Arduino is set up for GRBL. All right, you are using USB serial port. Okay? That you have Telenet, you have LaserGrbl ESP8266 emulator. I mean, you are going to be using USB serial. Okay? Now, buffered. Buffered. Right here. If you read over here, every one of these. Okay? Right here it says, now right here, I'll start right here at the top. Firmware type. Let me move you over just a little bit. Firmware type, GRBL. The awesome firmware for which LaserGrbl was developed for. Smoothie, experimental. Support has been added recently and is not fully tested. Okay? Here we go. Let me just get rid of this. USB serial, that's what we're using. Connection protocol. USB serial is the most common protocol. Should be used if your engraver is connected to USB or COM port. Telenet, if you have a Wi-Fi Telenet bridge. Communication is implemented like a simple Telenet client server. LaserGrbl ESP8266. Support Wi-Fi connection via WebSocket compatible with LaserGrbl 80. Okay, so you can actually, if you know how to do it, you can use Wi-Fi to run it. Here we go. Next one, buffered. This is how your machine is going to be sending the G code to your machine. Now, you have to understand that LaserGrbl could send the G code a heck of a lot faster than the machine is going. But the machine has to read every instruction. So it's not gonna. You want it buffered, in other words. And it says buffered, optimize commands, streaming, filling up GRBL receive buffer recommended. Synchronous, wait for, that's the other kind. You have buffered, you have synchronous, and you have repeat on error. Okay? Synchronous, wait for the execution of each command prior to sending the very next command. Slower, but safer. In other words, let me put this. Now, one thing I have talked about earlier on, and you people have to realize one thing about a 3018 machine. And some people are going to know what I'm talking about, and some are not. But I'm going to repeat it again anyways. With a 3018 machine, the 3018 machine. These stepper motors, they take a lot of amperage, and it's a strong signal going to these stepper motors. One here, and one back there. Okay? Now, what happens is the signal going to these stepper motors, it's not like da, 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 da. It's not like that at all. It is pulse on, pulse off, pulse on, pulse off. And by doing that, that pulsing, okay, through the wires to the stepper motor, guess what happens? Those wires that go from your board to the stepper motor become big antennas. In other words, that pulsing on off that's going to these stepper motors is going through that wire, and that signal is going out into the air. Literally, it is emitting electrical noise from these wires. Now, the biggest problem with 3018s, I'm going to get into a little bit of detail about it because you need to understand this. That board, this board here that I just showed you, this is a true 100% Arduino board. This is a high quality board. Okay? Very high quality. And they only cost like 25 bucks. But anyways, very high quality board. They use high quality components in that board. Unlike our friends over on the other side of the ocean in China. They are the cheapest people on the earth. They will pinch a penny anytime they can in the factories where they are producing this stuff. When they go out and they source parts to build that Arduino board, they are taking the cheapest components that they can find that will work. Well, guess what? By using the cheapest components, what you've done is you have opened yourself up to you've opened up a can of worms. Because now, by using the cheapest components on that board right there, you have opened up a world of electrical noise. And your machine is very susceptible to electrical noise coming from these stepper motor wires. Back there, that wire there, you see there. That's wires here that go up from here. There is a lot of electrical noise around those wires. Now, what I am going to say you should take heed to. Your communications cable, right there, that bottom cable on your board that goes to your USB port. You better keep that signal cable as far away as you can from the stepper motor wires. If that cable is laying next to a stepper motor wire, the stepper motor wire will induce electrical noise onto your signal cable. In other words, that a G code that is going out of your machine through your cable, by the time it gets to your machine, it is garbled. So people have problems people have problems where they would be. Okay, just one second. Colin Fisher says Lightburn is free for 30 days. no sign up. Then $40 to carry on using. Is that a month? Is that a month or a year, Colin? Do you know? Okay, so I'll just be waiting for that answer there. But this one's free, and it works fine. Like I said, back to talking about the signal cable. In the beginning, let me tell you, I had problems resolving why the machines were stopping. And that is what was, through research and a lot of investigating, I found out that that is the problem. I have had people that have had so many problems with their machine stopping, and they said, "Oh, but my cable is far away from the stepper motor wires and everything, and it's still stopping." Okay, $40 makes it yours for life. Okay, so you pay $40 for it. Okay? Thank you, Dan. And nice to see you here, man. And Ed, by the way. Nice to see you. So, what I actually had to do was I had to have one person take their whole signal cable out of their computer, off the machine, and literally roll it up in aluminum foil. It sounds like a backyard mechanic thing, but guess what? It worked. Now, there are things, let me see if I can find one here. Here you go. This, on your signal cable. You can buy these loose. These are called degaussing, I think, or suppressors. They're noise suppressors, is what it is. Electrical noise suppressors. If you search this on Amazon, you can buy them by the ton. Or you can buy 10 at a time. You can put them on right next to your connector. You can put them along your signal cable and right close to the other side too. These are noise suppressors. They suck up that electrical noise. Yes. Steve says that copper foil tape for stainless glass or stained glass will work. Anybody that has ever done any stained glass, stained glass stuff, Tiffany type style, when you cut the glass, you have to solder the pieces together. You have to have a medium, so they use copper foil around the edges. I had my own store in Norway for stained glass. Really. I just gave all of my equipment to my daughter. I had tons of glass. Let me tell you, I gave it all away. Okay. So now I talked a little bit about buffering. That is what is recommended. Threading mode. Ultra fast. Fast, quiet, slow. Default is ultra fast. Okay? Then they even have one insane fast. But here it says, this setting affects the speed of sending, thread, and frequency of status report requests. Get slower values if you are experiencing issues. In other words, if you're having problems with that the speed is overrunning, that it can't keep up with ultra fast, then you're going to have to go down to fast. Okay? If your machine is working fine at ultra fast, you can try insane if you want. Okay? Here we go. I have this checked off. Issue detector. If LaserGrbl can detect issues and warn the user, providing info about how to solve them. If disabled, all issues are silently managed without warning. I like to know what's happening with my machine. So I want to know. Soft reset, Control X. If enabled, LaserGrbl send a soft reset when the connection to GRBL is opened. Okay, so whenever I hook up my machine to LaserGrbl, it will send a soft reset. Then here, if hard reset, if enabled, LaserGrbl sends a hard reset when the connection to GRBL is open. But your position is lost, your 0 point. Okay, that's why I do not have that checked off. All right, now this was just protocol. Here we go, raster import. When you get a laser and it's PWM, guess what? You have to mark that off, PWM. Here it says LaserGrbl, use power modulation through G-code, S-command. S-command in G-code is spindle RPMs, or in laser it is power. S is the same in G-code. G-code does not know if you are burning a laser or if you are carving. So they use the same letter, S, for power. Now you have to remember that. S is power, okay? To produce grayscale tones. Now, we are talking about grayscale tones. From very light to very dark engravings, okay? Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. A lot of wood, and you're going to find this. A lot of wood it will either burn or no burn. You are either going to get it fried or nothing. Okay? Now here it says, your laser must support TTL control connected to the Arduino pin D11. If not, please disable PWM support. Okay? Now just for the heck of it, I am going to try to disable this, and I'm going to see if that has any difference in just a little bit, to see if it has any difference. And as a matter of fact, I can close this now, save, and I'm going to try to turn my laser on, and guess what? It did not come on. And right here, every time I click this, I'm sending a new signal, or a new command in G-code. Watch. When I click this on-off button down here, right there it says M5, turn off. That's what I just turned it off. Now I turn it on. M3, S10. Okay? M3 means turn on my laser with a power of S10. S is power, remember? That's G-code right there. That's all you're going to see here is G-code. Okay? Let's get back. And that didn't help, so I'm going to put that back on. And that's raster import. And I turn my PWM back on. Unidirectional engraving. By default, LaserGrbl produces engraving lines in both travel directions of the laser head. Some tests have shown that this mode, which is faster, produces lower quality results. If the maximum marking quality desired, if the maximum marking quality is desired, activate this option. Okay. So I'll do that. The max resolution available on LaserGrbl is 20 lines per millimeter, about 500 dots per inch. That is high enough for most users. If you need a higher resolution, high res, and remove this limit. Be careful. LaserGrbl will need many more resources if your computer is slow. Okay, and this is where you can check this off. Now I'm going to show you where that will affect. I'm not going to check it off, but I'm going to show you where it affects everything, okay? Later on. We're going to get there. Alright, let me see here. I got to stretch my neck a little bit. There. Jog control. Continuous jog. You really don't want that. That is, if you press one of these buttons down here, it will continue, just keep going until you let off on it. Okay? I don't like that option. Now, right here on mine, you see I have Z control, up and down. I can move my Z axis up and down. That's because I marked that off. Now, if you have a 3018 and you mount your laser in the spindle bracket, you'll notice in the spindle bracket there's 4 notches inside of there. That's because the laser unit is square and it fits right in there. You just loosen up your bracket, take your spindle motor out, and you replace it with your laser. Okay? Now, there are some lasers that do not, you can't focus them from the bottom lens. Okay? Some of them, this laser that I have on here right now, I can't focus it. It is a hard, it's a, what do you call it? It is not focusable. In other words, you have to lift the laser up and down physically to focus it. Well, guess what? This is perfect because I can move my Z-axis up and down by using these right here. Okay? And I can focus my laser by moving my Z-axis up and down. Next one, automatic cooling. If you find, I mean, this is one thing that you should check while your machine is running, while your laser is engraving. One thing that you should check is the temperature of your laser. If you find that that laser is really getting hot, you darn well need a cooling cycle. Okay. What does a cooling cycle do? Some laser diodes can heat up to much. I mean, this must be written by Chinese, I'll tell you. Some laser diode can heat up too much if they run for a long time at the highest power. To prevent diode overheating and increase your laser lifetime, you can add some automatic cool down cycles that insert some pause during the engraving process. If auto cooling is enabled, LaserGrbl will send automatic feed, hold, and job resume according with on-off timing configuration. In other words, here, how long do you want your laser to burn? And you can change this how many ever minutes you want. I mean, you can go up to 60 minutes, okay? Now, if you were to say 15 minutes, I want it to run for 15 minutes and 0 seconds, okay? 15 minutes and 0 seconds. After 15 minutes, I want it to turn off for 2 minutes, okay? And that it will do that during the, if I click on this, there, it will do that now. Okay? Here it says, warning, this feature will work only with GRBL versions 1.1 with laser mode enabled. If you use auto cooling with older GRBL versions or the laser mode disabled, the laser will not turn off during pauses and burns holes in your work. Okay? Read warning signs here. Whenever you see a warning sign, read it. It's not in red for nothing. That's our cooling cycle. I am not going to enable it on mine because I never run full power. Okay, G-code. G-code, G90, use absolute coordinates. Okay, that is a command, and absolute coordinates, you are using the numbers that where you have 0 point, and then you can have 10, 20, 30, 40 millimeters to the right, okay? That is absolute. In incremental, it changes where you only tell the machine how far to move each time instead of telling it to go to a specific absolute coordinates. You are telling it to go to a specific place, like X 15 and Y 30. You're telling it to go to a specific place. In incremental, you're only telling it how far to move each time. Okay, so that's just something with G-code. Multiple passes. G91 uses relative coordinates. G0, Z minus 1 sinks the Z-axis 1 millimeter. That's right. G90 use absolute coordinates again. Okay? Footer. G0, X0, Y0, Z0. Move back to origin. That's what G-code means right there. G0 means rapid feed. And go to X0, Y0, Z0. Okay? In other words, rapid feed back to home position. Next one, simple things. Sound settings. I have them on. It tells me when the program is finished, if there's a warning, if something happens, error sound, connect sound, disconnect sound. Okay? So, I say save on that. Alright. What else we got under GRBL settings here? Oh, material database. Now see, most people will not go into these places and look. Look at this. If you have an O2 LU 7W, which is a 1.5 watt laser, okay? And you're using plywood, action, engrave, power 100%, because that's only a 1.5 watt, useless as tits on a bull again. Okay, here's your speeds. Now, I'm going to open this up all the way so you can see it all. Alright, now we go down. These are all 1.5 watt lasers. Okay, and then this one here, I'm going to just move this over a little bit so we can see what these laser units, how high up they go. There's 5.5 watt. This is what I have, a 5.5 watt. It doesn't matter which laser, this is O2. It doesn't matter. A 5.5 watt laser is a 5.5 watt laser. Finished with that. Okay. If I want to use plywood and I want to engrave, then I have my laser at 80% power, 3,000 millimeters per minute. One pass. If need, it needs to be adjusted based on different woods, different colors. Okay? Now, if I'm going to use that same 5.5 watt laser and I'm going to cut something out and the thickness is 1.5 millimeters, I mean, we're talking about, this is plywood here. This is plywood. Now, remember I was telling you about grayscale? Look at that grayscale. That's as good as I could get it. From light to dark. Okay? There ain't much difference there. Some woods suck at burning. Okay? Now this is a 1.5 inch ply, 1.5 millimeters thick. Okay. And to cut that thin plywood out, I have to use 100% power, and instead of 3,000 millimeters per minute, I'm only going 200 millimeters per minute. And here it says, it needs to be adjusted based on different woods, different colors. And I can put in several passes. So let's go down and let's see how high these, you see here? That's as high as it goes. Sorry. 5.5 watts is the highest they go. Now here they even say, engraving on stainless steel with a 5.5 watt laser. 100% power. 100 millimeters per minute. The surface should be painted black by marker pen, because that's like a substrate. When that laser hits that, it increases the temperature and it engraves. Whenever you're going to do stainless steel, metal, whatever, you have to use a medium on it. Some people spray paint them. Some people, I mean, right there it says use a magic marker. And later on you just wash it off with alcohol or acetone. Okay? So now this is just a database. It'll give you a really good idea. If you look at these here, acrylic with a 5.5 watt laser, engrave, 80% power, 3,000 millimeters per minute. Pay attention to toxic gases. Cannot engrave transparent acrylic directly. Need to paste craft paper film on the surface. That's over here. Okay, I'm just reading this. Okay? You want to understand about different materials. Go in here and it will give you an idea. Here you have plywood, paperboard, craft paper, non-woven fabrics, cotton cloth, leather, plastic sheet, what does that say? Dark color, solid wood, acrylic, powder coated, paint sprayed, plated metal, anodized aluminum. I mean, at least look at these because they will give you an idea. This is to give you a starting point. Okay? These are not just put in here for fun. They're in here to give you education, to educate you on what you can use and what you should use for which materials. Okay? Let's see what else is up here. Hotkeys. You can create hotkeys to do different things. Connect, disconnect. Here you go. I mean, to open a file, Control plus O, which means open. Reopen, last file, Control R for reopen, duh. Save file, guess what? Control, what letter? Save, S. Control S. Execute file, F5. Abort file, blah, 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 blah. You guys can read this yourself. I don't even worry about it. I just use the button. I don't use hotkeys. I just use the buttons. I could never remember them anyways. The only one I remember is Control C for copy and then Control V for paste. That's it. And then we have exit. Okay. Now, file. This ain't no darn different than any other file. Open file. And I'm going to tell you one thing you are going to use a lot. I'm talking a lot. Right here. Reload last file. Here's my reloaded last file. Okay? Now, this is the window where everything happens, right here. That's all it is, right here. This is it. This is where you adjust it. This is where you make everything happen. This is, I mean, here, this is preview, and this is the original. There's the original. Here's the preview. Okay? I'm going to tell you guys one thing about whenever you come into a picture like this, a window like this. Okay? And I'm talking about in easel also. In easel. Whenever you come into a window like this, if you do not play with every one of these controls and every one of these options and try everything here, guess what? You won't learn a damn thing. Nothing. Nada. Zip. This is the only way. This is the only way to learn this program, is to play with these. And what I do is, if you're not sure what it does, well then hell, pull it way down. There you can see what it does. Or pull it all the way up and you can see what it does. Do not be afraid of these programs. If you do not play with them, you will not learn anything. Okay? So as I go along, I say that, oh, right there. Looks pretty darn good. Okay, what does contrast do? Okay, I'm going to try it out. There we go. Now I know what contrast does. Excuse me. So now I just adjust it to where I think it's cool. Right there. That's a good contrast right there. What does white clip do? Let's see. Oh, that was ugly as hell. That was terrible. So, I bring it down a little bit and look at it. Nope, it's still not, the lines are still not sharp. Buffy, would you do me a favor, please? Would you please get me 2 AAA batteries? Yeah. Yeah, I got to change the batteries in this stupid mouse. Okay, so now we found out what white clip does, but we're not there yet. So and you see, whenever I click on white clip, it turns red. Don't ask me why. That just does it. They're starting to look okay. A little bit more, maybe. Okay. All right. So that was my white clip. Now, watch this. If I click on this black and white, if I click that off, everything changes again. Now, you start at the top. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. In LaserGrbl and a lot of other programs, when you select, for example, it's on smooth right now, and I have no clue what's going to happen when I click on sharp. I'm going to tell you something. Your eyes better be right here. Your eyes better be right there when you click that button, because 5 out of 10 times, if you are not looking directly at that picture, you will not see what happens. Okay? Thank you, baby.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right? So, you have to watch your picture when you click that button. So I'm going to go to sharp right now, and I'm looking at my picture as I click it. I can see that was right there on that one, on that example, it was a big difference. Okay, this was smooth. That was sharp. Now I want it smooth. Now you see there, it's smooth. But it's still too light because I clicked off black and white. Now I have to go through all my settings again, Brightness. Okay, I can bring my brightness down a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty much there, actually. I kind of like that. But let me try my... Okay, let's see there. And then my white clip. Let's just try that. No, and you'll find out. You click off one thing, and these will have a lot more effect, or they won't have any effect. Okay, so I'm going to take off a little bit more, and that looked really cool there. That was with black and white. If I click on black and white, which it is, I click on black and white. Now it's way too much again. So now I have to go and take off some of the brightness. And I might want to adjust the contrast again, which I did. I did want to. If you do not keep going, now watch this. Black and white here. There's white. There's black. Okay? Halfway. Stuff is gone. Okay? Now if I click this off, you don't have that slider anymore. So you have to adjust everything up here. But this slider here will also interact with these. You see? So you can't just say, oh, okay, well, usually I set my brightness halfway and my contrast 3/4 of the way. Bull. You cannot. You have to tweak every picture you bring in here. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to tweak every one of these darn sliders. And you have to go here. Okay, now, on a black and white clip art, I'm going to turn this off, this black and white, because I'm going to use just my sliders here. That was pretty good right there. All right. Let me explain conversion tools. Line-to-line tracing. Right now, that is what this is called. I'm in now. Line-to-line tracing. Okay? Because it's only black and white. There's no grayscale in here. This is all either black or white. Okay? Now, we get to the next one here. 1-bit dithering. If you were to zoom in, let me see if I can zoom this in and show you. No, I won't do it. Anyways, 1-bit dithering. What is 1-bit dithering? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you real easy. You know when you look at a newspaper, you look at an old newspaper, not colored newspaper. I'm talking black and white newspaper, okay? And you see pictures in there, in the black and white newspaper. And you see grayscales in there. Well, guess what? Do you know that when they print newspapers, that's all they have is jet black ink. That's all they have. They do not have any gray. They do not have any gray ink in there. So, when you see pictures of people in a black and white newspaper, how do they get the grayscales? Okay, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you exactly how they do it. And it's pretty good. It's what they call 1-bit dithering. And 1-bit dithering. Let me find my pencil here. Okay, I got a pen here. I'm just going to draw 2 little boxes here just to show you. There we go. Actually, I didn't need 2 boxes. 1 box was enough. But this should give you an idea. Right there. Gone. Now, if you didn't watch it real quick, you missed it. Here we go. This is dithering. 1-bit dithering. If you want something darker, you put dots closer together. If you want things lighter, you spread the dots out. Simple as that. Now you know what the expression 1-bit dithering does. Now, this line to line, when it engraves line to line, it is actually going to engrave, it's going to be moving, and it's going to be, oh, it's supposed to be a straight line, but the laser will be going on and off as it fills the lines, okay? And it'll keep going on, off, whatever, wherever there's a line or whatever, it will go on. But if you're going to do a picture of a person, you want 1-bit dithering. 1-bit dithering for photographs. Line to line tracing for black and white images. Okay? Like clip art. Okay. Then we have vectorize. Vectorize, look what happens. That's all I'm going to get. That's garbage. Can somebody tell me here where you would use vectorize? Maybe it's if you bring in a vectorized image. But it definitely didn't work on this one. Now watch this one. You think that one's bad? Watch this one. Center line. Center line. And these are straight lines. So it turned that into garbage. On this one here. Now here you have adjustments. Now let me see if there's adjustments for vectorize. There we go. Vectorize options. Spot removal. Okay? Let's unclick that and see what happens. Whoa. Smoothing. Let's just see what that does. Optimize. Let's uncheck that. Nothing happened. Now I haven't changed any of these numbers. Down sampling. I mean, a lot of this is just things you have to play with. It is, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. Anytime you see a information, an eye, you should put your mouse on it and read. And what does it say right here? It says, increase, decrease vectorization quality proportionally to image output size. Okay? Down here. If resolution does not match with stepper motor pitch, some artifacts may appear. Click to compute a reliable resolution. Okay? Let's click. Whoa, you got more reading. Oops, something went wrong. Don't worry, but it's all your fault. It's not your fault. There was a program error due to some unexpected condition. You can report it to developers. Okay, I'll just close that. Let's see if it happens again. Yep. So in other words, that one isn't working right now. Remember? Wait a minute. So I'm going to go back to, on this drawing, I'm going back to line tracing. Okay? That's what I'm going to use on this. Okay? And then we've talked about this. Wait a minute. Can you just hold on for 1 second. Let me change these darn batteries. And hopefully it will be more better. Okay, there we go. God, I hate when things like that. It's irritating. Whoa, much better, much better. Okay, so black and white dithering, 1 bit black and white dithering we use for photographs. Vectorize, I'm as clueless as you are, and centerline as clueless as you are. But you can try it. It doesn't hurt. Experiment. That's the name of the game. Now, I'm going to talk about something that you are also going to need to know. This piece of wood. This piece of wood, you see the grain is going this way, okay? The grain is going this way. You never want to engrave with the grain. You will get different colored lines as you go up. Hey Andy, glad you could make it, buddy. And Mark, nice to see you, man. Okay, and Joel. And Robert again. Okay, so you can never, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but if you engrave with the grain, you will get lines going up, and they're ugly. So, when you're engraving on wood like this, you want to engrave diagonally. Or you can go vertically, but I don't recommend it. I recommend you go diagonally. Well, like it'll actually be like this. And it'll start down in this corner, and it'll go and go and go and go diagonally, like that. Okay? And it'll finish off up here. Okay? There we go. Now it's set at horizontally. If I ran that on this project, it would look like crap. So I take diagonally. Now remember in the setup that we looked at in the setup there, and it said about quality. Okay, watch this. Oops. 11, 12, 34, 57, 18, 19, 20, and no more higher. No higher. Now, if you had clicked off that box in setup, you can go higher. I'm going to tell you something. Watch this. Okay, if you have it at 1 line per millimeter, okay? In other words, let me put it this way. 1 line per millimeter. In other words, you will have right up here. It's hard for you to see. Well, right there, the spacing there, each one of those little lines, that's how far apart those lines will be as they're being burned. If you have it on horizontal, it will be 1 millimeter, and the next one will be another millimeter up, okay? This is lines per millimeter. Now I have it on 1. Okay. I change it to 2, I double my time. Okay? I change it to 4, I've done doubled my time again. I change it to 8, I just doubled my time again. Now 8 lines per millimeter. A millimeter is tiny, tiny, tiny. A millimeter is about, well, it's just a little bit bigger than 1/32 of an inch. If so, you put 8 lines within 1/32 of an inch, it's pretty good. I mean, you're getting pretty good quality. But every time you click this button up, you are adding more time. Okay? I mean, and I'm talking a lot of time. A lot. Okay. I usually leave it around 8. But, you know what I mean? It's up to you. You know, you can play with it. Down here, whenever you using your mouse and stuff, hover over things and it tells you exactly what it does. Right here, revert all changes. Nix, I don't want to do that. I've got it adjusted to where I want it. Here, rotate 90 degrees. If you have a piece of wood that won't fit on your machine, okay, and you have to do it sideways, you can do it like that. Okay? Or there. Or there. Or there. Whatever you want. Or I can go the other way. Really mess with your heads now. Okay? This one here. Flip image horizontally. Watch this. Okay? Put it back. I can flip image vertically. Watch this. I just mirror it. This is mirroring vertically or horizontally, and this is mirroring it vertically. Here, crop image. Okay, if I wanted to say that I only wanted the owl's head, there we go. Okay? And when I clicked back on this revert all changes, it did not change my sliders. I was looking up there to see if it did, and it doesn't. Now, this one here, auto trim image. Right there, I just clicked on it, and it changed a little bit. This one here, invert color. That's going to be an awful long burn. Okay? Now, once you have gone through and double down on all of these, you have done everything. You have tried everything that is here. Oh, wait a minute. You have not. Let's go to one bit dithering. What I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up another picture so that it will show you. Open file. All right. Oh, let me hear. I'm going to show you a couple things. Colors. And here it says blue laser, red laser, dark, hacker, nightly. This is only what feels comfortable to your eyes. It has absolutely nothing to do with a laser. This is just the color right there. That is nightly. Okay? Here, hacker. That is hacker. There, let me see, dark. That's dark. This is only what your screen will look like. It has nothing to do with blue or red laser or anything. If I put blue laser, you're going to see that my picture is going to be red. And if I put red laser, my picture is going to be blue. Watch. Now we're going to go to File. I'm going to say Open File. I got some old ones here that... I'm just trying to find a... Just for the heck of it, let's try this one here. That ought to be a good one to mess with. There you go. Boy, do we have a lot of work for us. Now see, I am not even going to touch this one yet because the image is so bad that I won't be able to see it. I want to adjust some of these first. Okay? Now, remember I told you, line-to-line tracing, no good for pictures. I'll tell you what. Let's try let's just try adjusting a little bit and see what. Let's see, I mean, that's about the best I can get it there. Contrast. You see, it is almost impossible to get. Let me see white clip, how that. You see, it gets darker the less white clip I have in there. Then I can try my contrast again. Now, my white clip might have more effect on this one. But you see, you have to play with these. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now here it said I had this clicked off, black and white. That was stupid. It should not have been black and white. Watch, let me see now. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now I can pull my contrast up a little bit. Oh, check that out, huh? Now watch this brightness. Watch, I'll bring it down. Damn. Damn, am I good or what? Huh? Not really. Not really. Now this is line-to-line tracing. You want to see what it's going to look like? Watch this when I hit next. I'm just going to set this, or this is just here, I'm just checking these numbers. Now watch, I'm going to say create. That's what I think it's going to look like. But I mean, that's what you think it's going to look like. Watch. Watch what happens. Hello. Hello. There you go. Now, was that ugly or what? Huh? Look at all this noise, this garbage in here. Remember how I told you you are going to use reload last file a bunch of times? Because you don't see what the picture's going to be until you go out of this. Then you really see what the picture's going to be. Now, I had that on line-to-line tracing. Now watch what happens when I go to 1-bit dithering. You see, it's all little tiny dots. Now I have to go through again, and I have to try sharp. Let's see. A little bit difference. Let me see with this grayscale. Let's try simple average. I got to look at the picture when I do it. Simple weight average. Let's see. Not much difference at all. Optically correct. And custom. Custom lets me adjust everything here. Colors, which were the original colors. And you see there wasn't very much red in that color at all, in that picture. Okay? There wasn't very much green, I don't think, either. So you're not going to have that much effect. Okay, let's try blue. Was there like blue in there? Okay, now brightness. Contrast, let's try this. Well, that's pretty good. White clip, let's try that. Now see, that's the original. So every time I click it, that's, now I'm moving it. Now I'm starting to bring too much white in. So I got to get rid of that white. If I bring that all the way down, there's really not any effect between there and there. Okay, now on 1-bit dithering, you got these options down here. This is what kind of dithering. And what I do is start at the top. And I have to look at my picture before I even click it. Watch. Ooh, that wasn't bad. Atkinson, remember that one. Let's see, Floyd Stenberg. Softer. Burks. Jarvis. A little bit grainier, I think. Random. Absolutely not. Sierra 2, I've had a lot of good. Okay, now that's Sierra 2. Let's see Sierra 3. There isn't usually not much difference, but I didn't like that. That was a little bit grainier. And Sierra Light. Let's see what that does. Well, that ain't bad. And Stucky. Let's see what that is. Not bad. Let's go back between Stucky and Atkinson. I actually like that Stucky. Or let's go between Atkinson and Sierra 3. Actually, I think Stucky, or let's see, Atkinson. So you have to keep, I think Atkinson was actually the best. Direction. Remember, you're not going to go horizontal with the grain. So you go diagonal. Now, as I increase lines per millimeter, it increases the detail, but it's going to take mucho longer. Now here it says line preview. Let's just see what that does. Well, now, I'm not going to crop anything here. Let's just go to next and see what it's going to come out like. Create. Now I'm going to tell you something. LaserGrbl requires a lot of computing power. Now you see all those markings there? I'm really not sure if those will be burned or if it's just going to be the image. I think we ought to try it. What do you guys think? Let me see. I'll go back here to File, reload last file, and this is how I had everything set up. Okay, and now one thing I need to do is I need to put my other laser in, and maybe that one will work. Okay. Here I have a 15-watt laser. Okay. And let me take this one out just for a second, and I will actually turn you around so you can, wait a minute. So what I did was I had to do some a little bit of jury rigging here, because this little laser is so small that it needed some support in there. Okay, just a second, I gotta set you down. Okay, and you guys can study that picture and tell me what I need to change on it, okay? Alright. Got the old one out. Now, guess what? This new laser actually goes right in here. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I like this. I like this. But to be honest with this laser here, I haven't really gotten it to throttle down. It seems like the PWM part of it is probably not working or something, but we'll see. We'll see what we can get out of it. Okay. All right, let me see here. Let me see here. I'm trying to find a place for it. Now I know why I got rid of now I know why I got rid of the my stepper motors. Stepper motors. My limit switches. Because those darn wires are just in the way. I mean, they're terrible, terrible. Wires everywhere. And what happens? Wires get hung up, they get torn out, and guess what? Then you are up a creek without a paddle. I wonder, is Viking here today? Viking here today? Give me a shout out if you're here, buddy. Let's see what happens now. And it is, okay, let me see here. Wait a minute. I'm just going to say max power on this one. I'm just going to say 5. Okay. And 300 dots per inch. Okay. And that picture, now get this, okay? This is engraving speed. Remember you looked at that chart and it said how many millimeters per minute, okay? 3,000 millimeters per minute. That's basically your rapid feed. M3, laser on, M3. Let's try M4 because M4 is the one that works with PWM. And laser off is your M5 code. Your S, what did I say S was? S is power. Your minimum power is 0. I'm going to put my max power at 5. Now, this tiny little piece of wood that I have here, this tiny little piece of wood, let me loosen it up and I'll show you. This is what I'm going to engrave on right here. This little piece. And I'll put it that way. So I'll say, what I'm going to do is I will look here and I say, okay, because this is a beveled edge, so I don't want that. So I'm going to say, this is 60 millimeters wide. Okay? 60 millimeters wide. Now, guess what's going to happen is, now I'm going to put in 55 millimeters wide because I have my clamps just on the edge. Okay, and so I'm going to say for width, I'm going to put 55 or 50 millimeters. 50. Now you see there? It automatically changed it because it knows the relationship of it. Now, so I'm putting 50 millimeters in there. I hit enter. Boom. You always have to hit enter. If you don't, you screw up. Now, what is offset? Offset X and offset Y. Right now, your 0 point is right here. Right at the bottom left-hand corner of the picture. Okay? And it's always going to be there. Bottom left-hand corner of the picture. Wherever you put your laser down, that is going to be your bottom left-hand corner of the picture. Now, even by having your 0 point right here, you can offset it. Would you want, with your 0 point here, do you want it to start 10 millimeters to the right? Put in 10 millimeters here if you want it to start 10 millimeters to the right. Or if you want to have it start 5 millimeters above 0 point, you put in Y, 5 millimeters. I want it to start right at 0, 0, so that's what I'm going to say create. Okay, now my laser is on, so let me see if it'll turn off now. Nope. And it's just frying my wood. I mean, it almost burned all the way through. Okay, let's try one more thing here. Okay, now I got it. But it's not coming on. No help. Didn't work. So I'm going to have to go do doctoring things on my laser. But let's just say my laser is working. Now, down here, down in this area here, when you first get LaserGrbl, there is, oh, wait a minute, let me just finish off up here real quick. We went into colors, remember? Right now it says red laser, and it's blue. If I click on blue laser, guess what? It turns red. If I say dark, it still stays red. Or orange. It's gross colors. So I do red laser because I like to have it in blue. Okay? That's all that does. Language. You want Spanish, German, Dutch, Polish? There you go. But remember, if you change it over to something like Russian, then you won't understand a damn thing and you won't know how to get back. Okay? So, leave it on English if you're using English. Tools, remember I showed you this. Install CH340 driver. Okay? And this is to flash your GRBL. Your jog buttons down here. The slider here, there's two sliders. Now just disregard this. This is because remember in settings, I'll show you in settings. In settings, I put in jog control, I have show Z up down control. So I can control my Z axis from here. All right, these two sliders, this one and this one, that's all they do, is they have to do with your jog buttons. This one means how fast do you want your machine to move when you push a jog button? Well, heck, why not have it all the way up? Unless you like to watch paint dry or grass grow or whatever, okay? Leave it all the way up. Who cares if your machine goes fast while you're jogging? Now here, this slider, how far it's going to go every time you click one of the buttons. Right now, I have it on 5 millimeters. I can pull it down to 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, 0.2 millimeters, 0.1 millimeter. That's the lowest, 1/10 of a millimeter. Or I can go all the way up to 200 millimeters, which I do not recommend. You will crash your machine. I'll guarantee you that. If that is up here and you hit any of these jog buttons, I will guarantee that you will crash your machine. And remember what I have told you, people, a 5 millimeters is a good place to be, to start off with. Okay? Now, remember remember one thing I've always told you. This is true for 20-foot high milling machines. You never click on any jog buttons without first looking at your machine. Okay? So this is your jog buttons. No matter where you are on your table, if you're just moving things, you moved your head around, the laser around, and you already set your home position once, you can move your laser around. That's all you got to do is hit home, and it'll come right back to the home position. All right, this one here is GRBL reset. It will reset my GRBL settings. Okay, I just did it. Lock. There, I just unlocked it. Okay? This one here, the globe. Wherever I set my laser to, and I turn my laser when it's working, I turn my laser on using this button, which I'm going to explain in just a second. But I turn my laser on at very low power, and I bring it right over to where I want it on the corner piece of my wood. Right there, okay? And I have it there on my piece of wood. This is your 0 point. Set 0 point G92. Watch, when I click this, watch what happens up there. Boom. G92 means set X to 0, Y to 0, and Z to 0. Okay? We've just set our 0 point. Now, if I was to jog my machine, jog it, and you can see there, you can see my cursor. Watch. You can see my cursor as I jog it one more time diagonally, okay? Watch what happens when I hit my home position. Right back to the home position. Now, when you first download LaserGrbl, you will only have these 3 buttons. Okay? You will only have these 3. If you click over on the left-hand side here, or in the gray area here, I can import custom buttons. Let's look at that. Nope. Nope. I'm just going to stick to what I know about doing. Okay. Add custom button. Okay, I click on that. So if you want to make this button, this is exactly how you do it. You can write this down, or you will forget it. I guarantee you. Type of button. This button that I made down here, I click it once to turn the laser on. Then I click it once to turn the laser off. So it is a 2-stage button. Boom. 2-stage button. G-code. I am using M4 now to turn my laser on, not M3. Okay? And actually, I'm going to go back and I'm going to change that M3 and see if that helps with my laser going on and off. Okay? Because I definitely have a problem. All right. So, my G code. M. Let me make it large. M. Oh, wait a minute. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. M3. That means turn laser on. But it won't turn it on until you give it a power. So we put S, and on this laser I put S1. You want it at very, very low power. You do the lower the power. I'm going to tell you something. This is also a little trick. The lower the power, the easier it is to focus. with a very low power on your laser, it is a cinch to focus that thing right into a needle point. Okay? And then when you increase the power later on, when it's going to burn, it's going to be really focused well. Okay? Now, we said turn the laser on at a power of 1. Second G code, that's when I hit the button one time. I'm turning the laser on. This one here is for the second time you hit the button. Guess what it's going to be? M5, which means turn laser off. Okay? Tooltip. What is a tooltip? Every time, well, it won't show it now because this window is open, but anytime I put my mouse over one of these buttons or somewhere, it's going to tell me what it does. So my tooltip is this. Laser on and slash off. So in other words, now, when I and enabled always, okay? So I'm going to create one. See, I just created another one, okay? Now, watch this. When I put my mouse over there, oh, come on, quit making a liar out of me. There, laser on off. Laser on off. Because I just created that one. And right now, if my laser was working, I could click on this and my laser would come on right there. Look at G code. M3S1. Okay? It says S10 actually. I said S1. Alright, anyways, my laser did not come on. I clicked it again. Guess what? M5 right there. Let's try this. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go Reload Last. Remember, I told you, you guys are going to be doing this a bunch. And I'm just going to jump right next to the next. And I'm going to change this back to M3. And let's see if that, and I have max power of 5. M5 is turned off. Let's create that. Now let's see if what happens. No laser on, no laser off. Okay, now wait 1 second. Nope. Won't do it. She won't do it. Let me see. No, won't do it. Okay, well that wasn't very cool at all. Not cool. Not cool at all. Anyways. So, now I have just removed my second button, which I created, which I do not need. But my laser is still homed because this is not red. Now, if it is red, it means that you have not set your 0 position. Okay? Hey, John. Hey, boy. Okay, glad to see you here. Glad to see you here, Viking. You got to let me know, man, when you first start, when you get in here, you got to let me know you're there. I don't know it, okay? All right. So, I'm going to jog away again. Now, watch here. Watch my cursor. And it's actually moving my machine. The only problem I have is that I can't burn. But I'm over here, whatever. I don't even know why I moved it, so I just hit back to the home. Right there. And actually, I didn't really home it. It would be somewhere around there. Let me see if it'll turn on. No. So anyways, so I have to find out why in the heck my laser isn't working, which I'll find out. And now, whenever you move away from your 0 point, guess what? That lights up again. So you can reset your 0 point. Now watch, I'm going to reset it, and I'm just going to move a little bit. Watch this. I'm going to just move this down to 1 millimeter. Watch this. Boom. You see it turned red. It means I am not at home position, but I can set a new home position there. I go here to home. You see, now it's not red anymore because it's how you doing, Ian? So when it's dark, when it's not red, you have set your home position. Okay? And then that's all you got to do is hit go. They're right here, run program. Okay? Now, remember I was telling you right here, it says you can't see it very good, but it says type code here. In other words, here you can actually type in G code, one line at a time. So for example here, I can type in M3 S1 and I hit enter, and if my laser was working, it would have turned it on. And then I go in and I say M5 and turn it off. So I can write my G code in here. But I can also go like this. What did we say that was the GRBL configuration? Let's see, it was, just for the heck of it, I am going to see, I think it was laser mode 32, $32. I have laser mode enabled. Okay? All right, let's see. I'm going to change $32. I'm going to disable it right now, and so I'm going to put equals 0. In other words, I'm saying I'm not using a laser. You see there? It came up down there. $32 equals 0. Now, I want to check and see if it's true, if that I did change it. Watch. I hit shift, $sign. That means give me a list of all the codes. Right there. Boom. Right there, $32 is 0. Laser mode enable. Whoa. Let's try this bad boy out again. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's kind of screwy that different things say different things. Okay, let's try. Okay, let's see here. Whoa! All frickin' magic! Boom! Okay, boom. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to edit this button. And you see here it says S. I'm going to put 0.1. Let's see if that'll accept that. All right. I'm going to try that. Save. Oh, mucho better. All right, people. Guess what? We're gonna play here now. Let me grab a piece of wood right here. Let me grab a piece of wood, because we're gonna do some graving. Here's a nice one. No knots, kind of wavy a little bit. Okay. And the width of this is, and you see there, I have to look at, this is a square piece. So I have to look at the highest. I have to go with the Y. Okay? And I'm going to say this here piece of wood is 85 millimeters wide. So I'm going to go with 75. So I have about 5 millimeters on each side. So we got to start all over again, remember? Now watch this. Let's say reload last file. Here we go again. Everything's the same. We're not going to do anything. I go to next. And I say, I'm going to change this. Okay, now see, now I don't have M4 here. Okay? And this is all correct. Max, S max is only, I'm only putting it at 5 on this laser. And I said that I want the size to be 70 millimeters. Is that what I said? I think so. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm going to do. And, oh, that was the width. I wanted to do the height, 70 millimeters. Oh, not 700. 70. Okay? So now, it is a width of 60 and a height of 70. Now, I'm going to take you guys off of the stand there in just 1 second. Well, I'm glad I got my laser working. So remember, if you hear people saying, I can't get my laser to work, you people are going to be the pros. So you can go right in and say, oh, well, duh. Go look at your $32, you know? That's what's fun. My laser don't work. Well, go check $32. They say, what's $32? And you say, well, you got to go check that out. Okay. Now, what am I going to do now? All right, now. I have not set my 0 point. I'm going to turn my laser on, and I am going to focus it right down to a gnat's butt. There, and turn it off. I mean, this laser is hot, let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to try to find my 0 point now. Even turning it down to 0.5, I'm just going to turn on and off. I still got to go down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. I pretty much got my 0 point where I want it. And now, I'm going to start engraving. But not yet. Because there's some more things I got to tell you. Guess what? Right here, what did I just do? I just brought my machine and I found my 0 point. And I damn well better set it. So I set it right there. G92. G92, make X0, make Y0, make Z0. And it does. Okay? And if you look up here. One thing you got up here. You have X, Y, Z, the top one. You have X, Y, Z is the second one. Here's your feed rate. And here's your S power. Okay? This top one, if you have homing switches, when you are at your machine home, this is only your machine coordinates. It is not your workpiece coordinates. Okay? So, This one here, this is my workpiece coordinates right now. And guess what we did? We set everything to 0. Right there. So you have it right there. Boom. Okay? That's your coordinates for your workpiece. Forget the upper one. You have nothing to do with that one. Only this one. Okay? Now, there are some other things right here. You know how I go on and on and on and on about the feed override on easel? I tell you, if you don't use the feed override, it's just like you sitting in your car, you start it up, you put the gas and you put it in gear, and then you put your feet flat on the floor without touching the pedals. That's exactly what you're doing if you're not using your feed override. You're missing the whole picture. Okay? So, same thing with this one. Same thing. But guess what? This here is weird. This is weird. Down here you have 3 small boxes. One is called S. What does S stand for? What does S stand for? Right there. Power. Okay? Now, G1, the next box. G1 is your linear feed. When G code is going to move from your 0 point to X10, it will say G1X10. That's the code used for linear feed. And then it will use the feed rate which you have dialed in. Okay, this is where you adjust your feed rate. And then the last one is G0. That is rapid feed. How fast are you going to want your rapid feed? Well, duh, you would want it the fastest possible. But look at here. This is what I'm getting at now. I'm explaining every one of these windows. But the thing I do not understand is there are 3 repetitive windows. Watch. I click on S. And here I have my power in its midpoint. I always start out way down. Way down. And because I have this 15 watt laser, I mean, it's, for some reason, it burns hot. So I turn my power all the way down. My linear feed, my G1. Guess what? This is G1 right here. And your rapid feed, G0. Got that all the way up. I want my linear feed to be as fast as possible. So what I'll do is I'll throttle my laser up and down as it's going along, as it's burning. I'll use this. This is my gas pedal and brake. I start bringing it up here and I see it starting to smoke the wood. Then I bring it down a little bit. And I see, oh, well, maybe it's not printing at all. Then I bring it up a little bit. And then it's still just working over here, you know. Now, one thing you also have to take into consideration. Remember I said it's going to go diagonal. So this is going to start going like this, okay? This way. Now, right down here, guess what you have? It looks like it's black. So, in this area here, it should be burning as soon as you start. If it's not burning, then guess what? Then I got to jack up my power. Now, you see in this first window, S, I have set all these to this configuration, okay? What does this say? Oh, nothing happens when I put it over there. All right. So this is my configuration here now. Watch. That was the S box down here, okay? I'm going to go to G1 box, and I'm going to click on that. Look at that. It's the same freaking thing. Same exact thing. When I changed S, it changed it in that box also. Well, guess what? When I go to G0 box, same freaking thing again. Now watch this. In G0 box. In G0 box. Wait a minute. In G0 box, if I bring down my in G0 box, I bring down my laser power. I go to S box. Look at what it did. Same thing. All of these boxes do exactly the same thing. It is repetitive 3 times. I do not know what the idiocy about it is. You only need to open up one box. And since S is the first one, that's the one I open up. So now I turn my linear feed all the way up. I want it to move as fast as possible. And now I'm only going to adjust my laser. For you people that have smaller lasers, guess what? As it's printing and you're jacking, and it's not really getting dark, and you're jacking it up and jacking it up and jacking it up, and you're seeing that it's really, really not getting that much darker. And you get all the way up and you don't have any more to go on. What do you do then? What do you do then? Why not do the correct thing and slow your machine down? Then you have to start over, back down, because now you're burning at a slower speed, so you shouldn't need that much power. But here you're printing at a really high speed, and this is what you want to accomplish. You want to do it the quickest linear feed possible, but yet still have a good burn. But if you go all the way up to here and you do not have a good burn, you damn well better turn your feed rate down. This is, let me tell you what. This here is exactly like using an old-time black and white camera with film. To get a perfect picture, you have to have the correct amount of light, which in this case is your laser, and you have to have the correct amount of time, which is your speed, your feed, your linear feed. That is how much time that laser is going to be spending on every little spot. Okay? You slow it down, it's going to spend more time there. So it's not going to take as much laser power. It's all about a balance. When you get that perfect balance of linear feed, and that's why I say, don't go trying to adjust your linear feed and adjust this. Hell, leave your linear feed all the way up. And if you can burn within this range here, then that's the only thing you got to worry about. Keep it simple, people. Keep it simple. Don't go trying to make rocket science out of it. Our rapid feed, we want it to rapid as quickly as possible. Our linear feed, we want it to go fast as possible, but have the capability of burning. If you're all the way up here, and it's still not burning good, you gotta turn your speed down. Okay? So, I'm going to pull that all the way down. I'm going to pull this all the way up. And I have set my 0 point. It is no longer red here. I have set my 0 point. And guess what I'm going to do? I am going to try to laser engrave. How do you like them apples? Let me see. We're gonna see what happens. So I go up here. And I click on Run Program. Watch what happens. And see, it's now on this one. You see down here. You see my cursor is going back and forth right here. That's all black. That's what I really want, is that to be black, but I think it's going to be too black. Okay, let's see. Get my glasses out here. Gotta hate these things. And I put some light on it so we can try to see. Okay, now I'm looking over here and I can see that my cursor is moving right there, and I'm going up here. It should be light, and then it should be dark, and then it should be light again. And you see that it doesn't really look like there's much difference. So I'm going to stop this. Abort job? Yes. Okay, so I aborted it. Now guess what I'm going to try now? I'm going to try something else. Let's see if my Z-axis will work. Okay. I'm going to try something else, and what I'm going to do is I'm raising my Z-axis, and I'm raising it by hand because there was something with my stepper. Now what I'm going to try is I'm just going to jog it away a little bit, and I am going to turn on my laser at low power, and you can see it's totally out of focus. So I'm focusing it now. That's perfect right there. So I'm just going to set my 0 point right there, and I am going to remember reload last file. And I reload that. That looks everything the way I wanted it. Okay. And I have 1-bit dithering. And I'm going to go to next. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to even bring this down to 1. Okay. My S max, my max power is only going to be 1. Okay. And I say create. Okay. Okay, it's going to create that. Now I go in here and I pull my power all the way down and my feed rate all the way up. But now I've raised my laser. That helps some. That helps some. Let's see how much it's going to help. And let's see what happens now. I still think it's too hot. So I'm just going to stop it. Abort program, yes. I mean, it's smoking. This laser, I'll tell you what, this laser is hot. Okay, so I am going to go to File, Reload Last File, and I go to Next, and I'm going to try to change this to 0.1. Let's see if it'll accept that. Nope, 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 nope. The least I can get is 1. Let me see if it'll do 0.5. 0.5. Nope. 1. 1, 1. And I mean, if you really look, I mean, look how deep that's burning. I mean, it's frying it. Actually, when I was closer here, maybe I just didn't have it in focus here because it didn't burn as deep as here. You see that? I mean, it was frying it here. Let's just say create again. And I can't, there's no way I can throttle it down more. And it says a power of 1.0.1. Linear is 2 times the speed. My rapid feed is full rapid. So I'm going to just set my new 0 point right here. And I'm going to restart this. Now you see here, you see the feed rate? Now I'm gonna start messing with this S. And let's see if it changes up there. Oh, I mean there is more power. No. I mean, it says it up there. Well, let's just see what happens. I might have to get a gray filter to put over my laser to tame it down some. But I did see that when I moved my laser slider, remember I said max power was 1, and right there it's going to 2 because I'm pulling it up. I pulled it up, so you see how it, and now it's not even showing that it's lighting, but I'm smoking it here. So I have something to figure out. I got something to figure out with this laser. It seems like the PWM is not working on it. Okay? But I have really... Oh, down here also. Check this out. There. This is pause. If I start... Okay, now I just stopped it. I canceled it. And here it says, start again from beginning, safe. Resume from lines before the stop. Resume from the last command sent. Okay, right here. Or resume from a specific line. Okay, I'll say resume from last command sent. Okay? Okay. Now right there, you see here? Pause. But you got to be careful, because if you pause it while the laser is on, it will stay on. Let me see if I can get it to... There we go. I just did it. I just paused it, and there you go. It's smoking the wood. Okay? So you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware that when you pause it, if it is burning during the pause, it will stay on. Okay? So now I'm going to hit continue. Or, I'm sorry. There, you have to hit continue. And you can see here where my cursor is, coming down here. And then look at here. This is buffered. What's green means the machine has completed that line of code. And this is how fast it goes. Okay? Like I said, this is not rocket science. This is carving 101. Or engraving, I'm sorry, my bad. But now that I got this laser going, oh, I could try my 5-watt laser. I'll try that later on, and I'll let you guys know what happens. Okay? By the way, it says that, let me see, we're 7 hours and 3 minutes for this project. 7 hours and 3 minutes. Okay? Because laser engraving is not the fastest thing in the world. Okay? And I'm just going to stop this. There. That cedar wood smells really nice burning. Now, that's a little tip I can give you guys. Go to Lowe's and you can buy cedar wood. And it is in packages. It's cedar paneling. It's 1/4 of an inch thick. And it is cedar panel. And it's tongue and groove. I just take it on my table saw and I rip off the tongue and the groove. This here is beautiful for carving. Very, very nice wood for carving. And very nice wood for engraving. But you have to use 1-bit dithering, or 1-bit dithering. 1-bit dithering. Okay. You know what? I think we have just about covered LaserGrbl. So now you got 4 videos. The 3018 tells you everything about your 3018. Your Marathon 101, 102, 103. ESO. Everything you want to. 0 point. You people are the kings of 0 point now. Okay? And oh, Viking, that's okay, man. You can type whatever you want whenever you want, because I read them, and if you have a question or something like that, that's why I want people to type and ask me stuff, you know? Because as I'm talking, yes, I am going down here and reading. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get into this and okay? But yep. So yeah, so the Marathon 101, 102, and 103 was ESOL. And then Marathon 103 continued last night. Now, you have got that all put together. And guess what? You were just missing the laser part of it. Now you have it. Now you've got your 3018. If you get a laser, okay, you got to get to work first, okay? That's why I'm here. So if you get a laser and you can't get it to work, give me a call. I ain't promising nothing, but I'll try. I've gotten them all to work so far, put it that way, except my own, correctly. Okay? You know what they say? A shoemaker's kids don't have shoes, you know? I do airbrush artwork on motorcycle tanks and stuff like that. My Harley Davidson Sportster, 79 Sportster, does not have anything on it. No. No, it doesn't. Because the shoemakers and the shoemakers' kids don't have shoes. Okay? Anyways, I'm starting to feel it in my throat. So I want to thank you all again. I see there's still 8 people here out of 978 people now. I mean, there's something going on that it's just rushing in. I mean, Mark and I, we're approving people all day long. I really think that we'll hit 1,000 people by New Year's. I really do. I really do. Now, I can tell you people can invite. I mean, you can, if you go to another website, and you see something about, somebody that's struggling with a 3018 or struggling with whatever, if you think that they would be worthy of being in the group. I mean, you have to use a little discretion too, But if you find somebody that's worthy of coming in the group, by all means tell them, say, hey, look, I'm in this group and it sucks, but I like it there, And it's called Paul's CNC 3D printers and cool digital gadgets, But a lot of times when I go into groups, other groups, what I do is I'll click on the person's profile and I will personally message them, because some groups get pissed off if you go in there and you invite them to your group. Even though people can join as many groups as they want, some groups feel that you're stealing the people from them. Okay? I mean, if people in my group want to leave, hey, adios. If you want to go, I recommend that you also check out other groups. There's other groups that specialize in special things. There's nothing wrong with being members of a lot of groups. Yeah, Bill. Bill says right here, I don't get why there's just a handful of us watching with 1,000 members. Make a post about that in the group. Make a post. Because it might be more attractive that you do it than I do it. Because then they're going to say, well, you're making that post because you're only whining because you ain't got enough people there. You know what I mean? And it's free. I'll tell you, the education that you people have gotten in the last 3 nights, or this will be the 4th night now, okay? It would have cost you an arm and a leg. I'm not joking, And just like Bill says, he doesn't get it why there's only 9 of us here out of 1,000 members, almost 1,000 members. You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that in our group that we have a lot of floaters. I think we have a lot of floaters, which means there are a lot of people that join groups just to join groups. That they think it's cool. They go to school and they say, "Oh, guess what? I'm a member of 35,000 groups." You know what I mean? But I think we do have quite a few floaters, because I have been posting about this marathon thing for weeks before Christmas. And one other thing I have to do, why we're not here tonight, maybe tomorrow night. We got to pick out a winner. Got to pick out a winner for the cookies that we're going to send out. Buffy and I are going to send out to the winner. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each one of you just post a number between 0 and 10, okay? Or 0 and 9. And then what I'll do is I'll tally up all the numbers that you guys bring in here, and I'll just go somewhere in that post, and I'll just put my finger down, and I'll say I'll start here, and I'll count all the way down, and I'll start at the top, and I'll count all the way down, start at the top, until I get to the number that adds up with all of your numbers, and that person, guess what? I'll try again. Wait a minute. We'll get a box of Buffy's Wonderful Cookies. Okay? Let me see. Marianne, or Viking says, when I take this class in the future, I'll already be 5 steps ahead, and it's rare to find a good teacher like yourself. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Warms my heart to hear that. It warms my heart. And yes, I will personally, if you are interested, I mean, how, you were, what were you, 9, 10, or 12, 16? 16 were you? How old are you? It takes about 30 seconds before I get his answer. But this guy here, he's been following. He just got himself a 3018 for Christmas. His mother got it for him. And he put it together, and he watched the first video. He's 16. Viking is 16. He's using his mother's account, so it's Maury Ann. But his name is Viking. Now, Viking, I will personally take it upon myself. If you are interested in learning, really learning CNC as a profession, I would be more than happy to teach you. I will teach you G-code. I will have you sitting down writing G-code line by line like writing a book. Okay? So, yes, I will do that. If you are ever interested in becoming a CNC operator or a CNC specialist, I will put you well on the road for that. Okay? And I will teach you the way I was taught. Okay? Okay, there we go. And we can now see, there we go. Leanne says, he is 16 and he is 16 and got a new 3018 for Christmas. I'm 60 and I got a new 3018 for Christmas and made my first cut today. Very cool. How did it come out? Did it come out like you had expected? So, I'll be waiting for the answer on that one. But I'm telling you, people, these other, we should start doing, maybe, because I can be a real pain in the ass if I want. I can be a real peckerhead, let me tell you. I think what we ought to start doing, everybody in my group, if you see somebody asking a question that we have covered here, you know what you say? Sorry, we can't be bothered to help you. We invited you. We invited to help you before. You didn't take us up on it. The videos are up in the photo section. Watch them. Use that answer. If it is a question concerning what we have covered in the last 4 days. Listen to this. Leanne says, it came out perfect. Thank you for your lessons. I'm going to tell you, it is not, and I repeat, it is not a common thing that somebody makes their first carving and it comes out perfect. That doesn't happen. It does not happen. And Viking says, thank you so much. I will definitely keep that in mind. I always have been interested in computer type stuff, and I'm even planning to go to college for computer science. Smart kid. But do not take out a loan for it. Okay? So, like I said, from now on, I mean, if you want to help people in the group, but I think that there's just a lot of floaters that can't be bothered to watch the video or can't be bothered to go up in the top of the group and go in photos and watch my videos. They want everything handed out to them with a teaspoon on a silver platter, you know. Oh, well, I can't get this to work. What's wrong? Watch my video. Like I said, it's really irritating. Like I said, 1,000 members now, and 9 show up. I think it's a disgrace. It really is. But, you know, it is what it is. Oops. Where am I at? I gotta get rid of some of this garbage. There we go. Somebody's messaging me outside of here. So anyways, it's 8:45. I'm starting to get a little bit hoarse, and at least I'm not getting a little bit of cow. But anyways, I hope you understood LaserGrbl. Download it. Download it. Even though you do not have a laser, download it and play with it. You can create a bunch of stuff and save it for when you do get a laser. Okay? And like I said, thank you people very, very much for showing up here tonight. Tomorrow night. Damn, what are we going to cover? What do you people... Okay, give it to me. What do you want me to cover tomorrow night? I am waiting right now. The clock is going. Okay? So let me know what you want me to teach you guys tomorrow night. Dum 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 dum. You're welcome, Steve. Thank you for joining, buddy. Thank you, Cindy. How about Inkscape? Yeah. Yep. I don't know crap about Inkscape. I use it once in a while, but I'll teach myself on the way. So we'll all learn it. 3-layered. 3-layered carving. Didn't you watch last night, Steve? Did you watch it last night? Because last night I covered the different layer carvings. Thanks, Paul. You're awesome. How about something on ceramic tile settings? Never done it. But we try. But I think you know what? I think the Inkscape one was good because Inkscape goes hand in hand with LaserGrbl. And what I could do, you did. Okay, you know what? This ain't my last night. I still have, what is today? What is the date now, Buffy?
Today's the 29th.
The 29th, she says. I trust her. I don't trust myself. Tonight's the 29th. I still have the 30th, and I'm going to do it on New Year's Eve, the 31st. So, how about this? How about tomorrow night, I will cover about how to download clip art and cool things from the internet. And then, okay, there you go, Steve. Definitely sketchy on importing images and getting them to work. Okay, tomorrow night, that is what we will do. I will go into how to download whatever you want from the internet for free. It's got to be for free. If it's coming in my domain, it's got to be free. And then we will go into Inkscape and adjust things in Inkscape. Yeah, Mark, I've been watching the O'Tours, the O'Tour group. Man, those guys get into a lot of tile lasering. And let me tell you what, yes, and fonts too. And fonts too, Cindy. Yep. So, tomorrow night we will cover how to find whatever you want on the internet for free. And then we will bring it into Inkscape and adjust it or screw it up or whatever. And then we're going to bring it into LaserGrbl and see what it looks like. How about that? Cool enough? I hope so. You know, I got to tell you people something. This is our computer room right in here. It's right off of the living room, okay? And Buffy is sitting in the living room. Right? I can see her right from here. She's 10 foot away. She's even waving. Okay? Now, she sits there and she does her cross stitch. Okay? She does her cross stitch and she is listening to every time I have a live session. Well, guess what? Subliminal messages. That woman, she knows a frickin' 3018. She knows ESL and she knows LaserGrbl like you wouldn't believe. Because she sits there listening to what I'm saying. And she knows a lot of times what's coming. You know, it's like she says, oh, here it comes. You know, when somebody going into about inches or something, hers like, oh. She's good. She's really good what she does. Let me show you. Okay, baby. Show her what you're doing. So this is what Buffy has done. That's cross stitching that she sits and does. Okay? And if you are wondering about some of the cross stitches, let me just show you some real quick here. Let me show you some here. And here's all the cookies that we're getting ready to. Here's one that she made for our teardrop camper. And this is a country thing. Merry-go-round. This is Monk painting. And this is one that she did here. And this is a market in France. And these take her about between 3 and 6 months each. She just finished this one. This is her last one that she did. But yeah, that's what Buffy does. While I do my live session, and you can see here are some right there. That's one that she's done, and here is another one that she has done, and this one here is really, really, really cool. This one was a very difficult one. So that's what Buffy does when I'm sitting in here talking to you people. Okay? Alright. I'm going to turn you around. Alright. So I think we are about... Yes, Cindy, she is a good woman. She puts up with me. So, I'll tell her all of these, messages. I will bring it forward to her, okay? Thanks again for this evening. You know, it always runs from 2 hours into 3, you know. But as long as I have people here that will listen to me, hey, we'll do it. But thank you very much again for this evening. Nice time. You guys keep enjoying your holidays, and please stay safe. Okay, use masks. Don't be jerks and inconsiderate. I mean, I have COPD. I have problems breathing. Okay? I have real problems breathing with a mask. But I wear my mask to protect you people or anybody in front of me. I wear it to protect them from my spit. Okay? I just wish other people would do the same back. You know? Scary, scary. And then you have this one group of people. I'm not mentioning any names or anything, but you have one group of people that, you know, well, coronavirus really doesn't exist, you know, and it's not dangerous. And it would kill me if I got it. I know that. It would kill me. That'd be, if I get it, it ain't going to be no more live sessions, I'll tell you that. Okay? Anyways, you people be safe. Take care. And have wonderful holidays until tomorrow night. And I'll be on here again. Ain't getting rid of me that easy. Bye. Bye.